It may not seem to make sense to an avid reader how a book can be difficult to read. A book challenging for some may be a piece of cake for others. But the general idea is that a person finds certain texts hardest to read for many reasons. Either the content is difficult to understand, the subject matter is not of interest, the language is not gripping, or the text is super bulky. I am constantly bombarded with requests about books that are the hardest to read. Why on earth would someone want to read a book that is notoriously long and complicated maybe? Only a true bookworm or an avid reader can tell you how addicting and accomplishing it is to read, understand, and enjoy a text that the rest of the world finds too hard to finish. So I thought let's give you the challenge or the drug you have been craving. After a lot of pondering, reviews, research, and some more research, I gathered a list of 5 books that are the hardest to digest, but are the best nonetheless. I have read a few of them. You will know which ones I am referring to if you watch this video till the end. Come on, daredevils, let's hit you with the reading challenge your daring bookworm soul is asking for. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Links to the books are given in the description below. Number 5. Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. He was a French playwright, dramatist, poet, and politician living during the 1800s. Hugo was the most influential literary and political figure of the Romantic movement in France. French people consider him one of the greatest French poets, and his works Les Miserables and The Hunchback of Notre Dame are acclaimed worldwide. When I first tried reading this book a couple of years back, my first impression was that Hugo named the book Les Miserables to warn readers in advance. Beware, my dears, you are about to pick something that is going to make you miserable for the next couple of hours or however long it takes to reach the end. I finished it on a second attempt a few years later, which is why it is here. It's a classic piece of writing. Each page is loaded with harsh realities, hitting your sentimental soul left and right and breaking your heart along the way. The story is about the poor ones living miserable lives in the poverty-stricken parts of French society in the early decades of the 19th century. It makes you wonder, does the law of nature and popular beliefs of justice, religion, and politics work the same for the poor as they do for the privileged ones? It's a pretty heavy and emotional read, so keep a tissue box beside you while going through the text. Number 4. Ulysses by James Joyce. He was an Irish writer, critic, and prominent literary figure of modern fiction in the 20th century. His innovative techniques in writing contributed to the modernist movement and the art of novel. Ulysses is a loose adaptation of Homer's Odyssey. The events loosely match the incidents during Odysseus' return home after the Trojan War. Or that man. I have to read Odyssey first to understand what Joyce has created. Well, I'll leave that to you. A summary will work for now. The entire action takes place in Dublin on a single day and gives you a trailer of the life of our lead character Leopold Bloom. Stephen Dedalus, Dubliner Leopold Bloom, and his wife Molly are modern-day Telemachus, Ulysses, and Penelope Resp. Joyce's use of interior monologue, stream of consciousness, subtle humor, irony, puns, and crude language in between make it a masterpiece of modern literature, one I will encourage you to read. Number 3. War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Next on the list is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. He was a Russian aristocrat. His works War and Peace and Anna Karenina make him a prominent literary figure of realist fiction. War and Peace is both bulky and heavy. The bulkiness of the book may make you hesitant to start it. It happened to me, but it's worth your time. The text portrays a complete picture of Napoleon's invasion of Russia and the struggle of Russians against his violent ways. It is more than a historical chronicle. It gives you a realist view of the impact of Napoleon's era on Russian society. Tolstoy's philosophy explains why the great Napoleon was not so great in reality. His unconventional way of writing teaches you how to live with the burden of history. The book can become a blessing or a curse, depending on your liking/disliking of stuff like war crimes, the grief of unrequited love, and life and death. You could skip the epilogue if you want. I wish I had done it because its super depressing tone made me sulk for days. The rest is simply amazing. Number 2. In Search of Lost Time by Marcel Proust. He was a French novelist who belonged to a Catholic family in Paris, France. The grief of his father's and mother's death led him to write the greatest work of his literary career, In Search of Lost Time. I am still confused if we should call it a novel or not because it doesn't strictly fit the criterion of that fiction. You can call it a loosely formed novel based on Proust's life. So, what's the challenging part? One is the fact that you have to read some 3,000 pages of text in Proust's ramblings. Second is the author's slow as a sloth's pace of uncovering events in the first 100 or so pages. His stiff style and frequent use of relative clauses further make it difficult to read. The irony is that you need that dull and boring section to understand what Proust is doing in the coming volumes. Just hold a proverbial gun to your head to commit to reading it, because you are in for a treat once you get past the robotic stuff. Number 1. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Okay, we come back to Miss Tolstoy once again. I just love making you suffer with Tolstoy's bulky works. Anna Karenina is also a massive book of over 900 pages. Yep, groan and whine as much as you want, but you asked for the challenge. The author's writing style and plot unfolding aren't as complicated as you thought. You just have to get past the tongue-twister kind of Russian names to realize that the story of this sophisticated woman, Anna Karenina, will carry you away. The tragic end of Anna makes her one of the most memorable characters of not just Tolstoy, but also literature. Tolstoy has mirrored himself in one of the characters in the book. His views and conviction make you feel like Tolstoy has come out of the grave and is talking to you. Now, who's that character? You will find out only when you sit to read this piece. So these were some of the top-ranking books infamous for giving readers a tough time. Once you become dedicated to reading them with the same passion you showed to other texts, they will become among your memorable reads. Commitment is the key to enhancing your horizon with such challenging reading material. If this video helped you find the next book you are going to read, then like and share this video. Let me know in comment section on what type of books I should cover in my next video. Also, if you read one of the books mentioned in this video, share your review or thoughts with us. Subscribe this channel for more such awesome videos. Thanks for watching.